This would tend to confirm what I sort of heard as a subtext in what the Fed was saying yesterday. Number one was that they are much more focused today than they have been over the past 18 months on the labor market, on the employment side of their mandate. Do you agree?
I do agree. And if you look at the language that Powell used, it was very cautious in what he said. He didn't say he looked at it as weakening. He looked at it as normalizing. Now, the market, if you want to say the sell-off today is economic uncertainty, which I'm not sure I want to say that, but if the market would take that as, well, we have a weakening of the labor market. The Fed didn't go there yet. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, very, very interesting. And yet today you see that the jobless claims numbers were higher. We'll get the jobs number tomorrow, I guess. Isn't that right? We get it tomorrow. It's early, but
yeah,
we get it. We get it tomorrow. So that will give us further. It adds to the pile of data, doesn't it, that, Dory, the Fed will be using to determine whether or not to cut rates come September. And I assume you would think that they are probably going to do that.
I do. I think he gave us that clear message yesterday about cutting rates in September. I think the real question is he going to have more rate cuts? So now if you look, the market, which has always been at odds with the Fed for the last several years, for some reason, doesn't believe what they say. He downplayed future rate cuts, but yet the market did what? It bet on future rate cuts. And now there's a higher probability of 3 rate cuts by the end of the year than 2. And there's a divergence from what the message was with Powell.
In a world where memes run the financial market and billion-dollar companies are as infamous as pop stars, there's one piece of news that could make you do a double take. Meta Platforms Inc., the titan behind our daily Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp scrolls, has set its eyes firmly on artificial intelligence. But here's the kicker. They might just tip the scale for another tech giant. A colossal deal for GPUs that could be worth billions of dollars for Nvidia is on the table, thanks to Meta's ambitious AI plans. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, known for revolutionizing social media, is now channeling his efforts into AI, with potential ramifications that go beyond Meta's own bottom line. With Meta's order of Nvidia's GPUs skyrocketing, the possibilities are nothing short of astronomical for Nvidia. Let's unpack this story layer by layer. You'll want to hang around till the end for a twist that might just make you rethink your investment strategy. But first, if you want to keep up with Nvidia and Meta's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now, back to today's video.
Dory, you mentioned that you weren't quite buying economic weakness as kind of behind today's sell-off. What do you think it is then?
It could be a combination, geopolitical, economic. So when you're talking about the sector rotation, this aren't small numbers coming out of big tech, right? They're billions and billions of dollars. So when it starts to move the price, then it starts to cause things. And so some of this, I actually think, is an interesting opportunity to buy. I think the market is not so sold on a weakened economy. The market wants its drug of choice, which is low rates, right? So you see everyone kind of moving. Well, the theory is we go to small caps, and it's been a nice play. But I think you got to be real careful in small caps because over 41% of them aren't profitable. And if you look back at big tech, something like an Nvidia, this big sell-off on a company that has 50% margin and over 100% return on equity, this could be a good buying point.
Meta's pivot to AI isn't a fleeting fascination. It's a full-scale shift of focus led by Mark Zuckerberg himself. Social media might have made Meta rich, but it's AI that could make them richer. With over 3.2 billion users across its various platforms, any improvement in user interaction and engagement will multiply their revenues like a wizard waving a magic wand. Meta has already built its own large language model, LLM, called Llama. Named perhaps to embody the endurance and high-altitude adaptability of the animal, Llama has facilitated the creation of AI assistants and more. The AI's utilitarian scope is vast, from organizing your chaotic schedule to streamlining a developer's workload. In technical terms, this is Meta's big bet, one they've decided to back heavily this year. Meta has even spilled the beans about how many GPUs they will need to train their LLMs effectively, a detail that could send Nvidia stockholders into joyous fits. The company announced plans involving 350,000 units of Nvidia's H100 GPUs out of a total compute demand that will likely reach 600,000 units. These aren't just numbers. They are the keys to the kingdom. In simpler words, NVIDIA's GPUs will be the backbone of Meta's AI advancements, underpinning everything from Llama 3 to the anticipated Llama 4. With GPUs, the high-performance chips that do the heavy lifting, NVIDIA's H100 GPU costs around $25,000 apiece and is currently the star of Meta's show. However, if you thought this was the finale, you're mistaken. Meta is eyeing NVIDIA's yet-to-be-released Blackwell architecture chips, set to turn tech circles into dizzy spells of anticipation. Priced at a cool $30,000, Blackwell could make NVIDIA's cash registers go ka-ching for months, if not years, to come. During Meta's most recent earnings call, Zuckerberg highlighted that the next-gen Llama 4 would necessitate almost 10 times the compute power required for Llama 3. If you do the math, the scale of NVIDIA's gains becomes conspicuously evident. Zuckerberg's vision involves laying down computational infrastructure faster than kids set up lemonade stands during a heat wave, a sure sign that NVIDIA's chips will remain indispensable. But why does NVIDIA maintain a dominant position in the GPU market despite increasing competition from companies like AMD and Intel? Let's find out. Hello everyone and welcome back to Investocracy.
Chip stocks losing some steam today as the Nasdaq rolls over earlier gains, giving up some of those earlier gains on that softer than expected manufacturing data. Now, today's move to the downside, what you are seeing play out within the chip sector, follows yesterday's risk-on rally. Actually, looking at yesterday's move, the chip sector recorded its largest single-day gain in 14 months. Who led the charge? Well, it's none other than Nvidia. We want to bring in Paul Meeks. He joins us now. He's Harvest Portfolio Management's co-chief investment officer. Paul, it's great to talk to you again. So we're seeing a bit of a give back following yesterday's gains. Nothing necessarily to get too worried about, I don't think, up until this point. I'm curious, though, what you make about the sentiment, the narrative surrounding these chip makers, and whether or not some of the developments that we've seen this week makes it more likely that we are going to see another leg higher.
I actually think we will see another leg higher, but even in my own tech portfolio, I have a prohibition right now on new buying, at least till we get through this very weird and squirrely earnings season. Because as we've gone through this earnings season, some companies are posting pretty strong results. Whenever a company posts earnings, there's always going to be a couple flies in the ointment. I mean, that's to be expected. But companies that have had good things to say, sometimes their stocks go down the next day. So it's just too difficult of a market. I plan to add to my favorite AI infrastructure plays, which would be some of these semiconductor names, data networking companies, and data server companies, but only till we get through the end of this reporting season. Give me about 2 weeks.
The unyielding demand for NVIDIA's GPUs naysayers will point to burgeoning competition in the GPU marketplace. Companies like AMD and Intel are vying to unseat NVIDIA, each promising cutting-edge technology. But there's the rub. NVIDIA GPUs have a different cachet, one underscored by their top-tier performance. When industry giants like Meta continue to knock on your door, asking for more, it's akin to being asked for an encore at the rock concert of the chip world. Despite the slew of new entrants in the GPU arena, NVIDIA continues to enjoy high demand, particularly from innovating behemoths such as Meta. Concerns about NVIDIA losing its market share seem unfounded, as robust demand from key industry players reinforces NVIDIA's leading position. To sum it up, NVIDIA isn't just holding steady, it's primed for ascending new heights. Meta's comprehensive AI strategy, marked by substantial investments in NVIDIA's GPUs, couples with NVIDIA's agile yearly updates to bolster continued market dominance. The revenue growth anticipated from Meta could serve as an inflection point, one that propels NVIDIA's stock to climb even higher. The billion-dollar question isn't just how high NVIDIA stock can go, but rather how soon it will get there. With Meta projecting future demand that enormously outstrips current levels, NVIDIA's foreseeable trajectory looks bullish. So what does all of this mean for NVIDIA stock investors? But first, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, Back to the video.
A lot of follow-up questions potentially off of that, Paul, but I want to start on whether or not you think come Nvidia earnings, when given the beats that we've seen from the likes of Meta, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Amazon, all of those make up 40% of Nvidia's revenue. I know we're still waiting on that last name. Given that we've seen those positive earnings from some of those names so far, do you think you'll regret not buying Nvidia when they're likely to have a good quarter based on that?
I think I may regret it, but I have such a large position and I've held it so long at such a lower cost basis, I'm pleased to wait. But you think about it, all of their customers, the hyperscalers, we're now through all of their quarterly reports. And the only thing that was not controversial at all was how much damn money they're going to spend on AI CapEx. And so unless they're lying about their capital expenditures are high and potentially even rising into 2025. So this bodes incredibly well for NVIDIA. And NVIDIA is trading at 31 times next year's earnings. It's not egregiously expensive. So I plan to, when the stock settles and or we get through their report on August 28th, you know what? I'll probably buy some more.
Wrapping up Nvidia's imminent boom at present, Nvidia sits comfortably, knowing the impending windfall from Meta's AI ambitions will soon be knocking at its door. The existing state of affairs already suggests substantial gains for the company. For those with a keen sense of where the market's winds are blowing, Nvidia remains to look like a robust pick, especially if you're looking for a great investment in the long term with guaranteed profits. Meta's ongoing AI investments indicate that the demand for advanced GPUs will persist, securing Nvidia's future relevance and its stock's appeal. Given the astronomically high stakes and the fortuitous alignment between Meta's needs and Nvidia's offerings, the scale leans heavily in favor of Nvidia continuing its enviable growth. But most importantly, what's your own take on Meta's ambitious AI plans and the subsequent golden ticket it presents for Nvidia? Do you see this tech giant maintaining its lead in the GPU market? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this blockbuster synergy. In the cacophony of the stock market, opportunities like this one don't come around often. Nvidia stands tall, potentially on the brink of the next big leap, courtesy of Meta's llama-sized ambitions. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia and Meta have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.